What's up, guys? This is going to be a quick video about the entire offer and, like landing page structure and system that we implemented for brands like this, where you scale to $22,000 a day. Very, very consistent. I can show you the last 7 days of this brand. And so I want to give you guys things that you've never heard before, okay? Because obviously it doesn't make sense to repeat everything what, is already on YouTube. I'm just going to make this video for people that, like me in the past, where I just didn't know all this and I had to go through this myself. And I really just would have wished that there was a video like this that basically explains the whole thing. And this is just my experience. Again, there's a lot of ways that get you to the goal, right? This is just what worked for me and for us. And so that's kind of what I can share on YouTube. So let's get right into it, right? So this here, as you can see, I structured it in like order of relevance. So it's like, this is the testing order, meaning every single A/B test, every split test that you're going to run is going to be structured like this. The most important thing is the take rate on the MRR offer. So recurring revenue. Like, this is more important than how much revenue per visitor, make. And basically it's a lot more important, obviously, than what the OTOs, the post-purchase funnel, looks like. So if you have a bad take rate, right, but you have a great revenue per visitor, then you're doing something massively wrong. You have to first fix the monthly recurring revenue take rate, and then you're actually going to focus on the other things. This is the testing order here, right? Because the impact of the test, or the overall impact on also the valuation, not just the profit and the revenue, also the whole value of your company is going to be significantly lower when you optimize this thing compared to, for example, if you optimize this metric. And so a couple KPIs here, you should have your take rates at least at 70%. That's a really, really good take rate. And then, as you go on and keep testing, you're going to move closer to 100%. Obviously, you want every single one every single person that buys, you want to have basically automatically charged again. And so a lot of people don't even offer one-time purchases. A lot of people, for example, run structures with, buy one, buy two, buy three. All of them are subscription. And then if you want to buy one time, you can basically just have a 3-month prepaid thing. So it's okay, one time, you can buy one time, but it's super expensive. And so obviously no one will take that. Okay. So there's structures like this where you can kind of, push them as much as possible. Obviously the most common thing is just trying to, give you 20, 25%, sometimes 15, sometimes 10% off of whatever they take if they decide to subscribe. And it's auto selected as a price anchor and so on. So that has a lot of benefits, right? Then the second thing I want to kind of point out here is that obviously you don't have to have a consumable hero product, but just any part of the offer should be consumable. Okay. So if you have a free gift that is consumable inside of your offer, obviously that's super powerful as well. And I would highly suggest you do so. Okay. So whether it is something with a hair product, let's say you're selling a hair curling tool and you just basically gift a free heat protection spray or something like that, obviously that, acts like basically a free gift, a consumable free gift. And so you can make people subscribe to the free gift, not the actual hero product itself. But this will obviously be significantly easier if you have a consumable hero product. Now, obviously the cool part is you don't specifically oftentimes need a super crazy consumable supplement product or whatever. A lot of people actually turn their products into consumables. So whenever your product is some type of low perceived value product that most people look at as a one-time purchase thing, you can actually say, hey, after 30 days it loses its power, right? So just need to buy it again. And so you can just say that, and you can actually make people subscribe to your offer or something like that. And that's gonna ridiculously increase the evaluation, right? Obviously you shouldn't lie, but I'm just putting it out there. So use it ethically. Churn should be below 5% in ecom, and obviously this is one of the biggest levers that you can pull for your exit multiplier. So this is for everyone that obviously wants to exit their brand and their business at some point and sell their stores. This is actually something that you guys got to keep in mind. This is why this is the most important metric, because this literally will determine how much you exit for, okay? How many people actually are charged again automatically every single month, or is actually a brand that starts from zero every single month, which you don't want to do. And then apps, Shopify apps that you can do this, either Loop, Recharge, really, really good. Obviously you can have Seal subscriptions to start out. They have a free plan, but very quickly you're going to want to switch to Loop and or Recharge. Recharge is the more expensive option. Then once you have this sorted out and this is all fixed and this is all perfect, only then you're actually going to start optimizing the revenue per visitor. So what is the revenue per visitor? RPV is just AOV conversion rate combined. Okay. Now what's actually crazy is the conversion rate is mostly determined by your ads. And so this is something which a very unpopular opinion. A lot of people say, oh, CRO, conversion optimization, I'm going to do that on the store. those are 10%, 20% changes. Like 80% of your conversion rate happens on the ad. It's like how many disqualifiers are in there? How much is it positioned like an ad or just like an organic video or maybe just like a blog post, right? What do people expect when they click on the link? Is it something that they already know the price of it, they already are ready to buy? Is it something that they think they're going to click on like an organic post or like a blog post or a news article? How much do they expect? How much do they know? What do they already kind of, like know, for example, about the offer, about the price? All these things heavily impact the conversion rate, actually a lot more than you think it does. Now, the AOV is usually what is determined by the offer structure. Yes, we could argue that obviously average order value is still something which you can push in the ads. If you showcase the benefits of having multiple of the same product, obviously it acts like that too. But usually the offer structure, so it's like a buy one get one structure or a bundle discount structure, or whatever you do, use price anchoring properly. If you have free gifts and stuff like that, use obviously the value stacking properly, stuff like this to just push it as much as possible. Then obviously we need to have cold friendly offers. So CFO, cold friendly offer, meaning your offer should always be structured that it's basically solving a problem and not just selling a product. So what it actually is supposed to do is actually supposed to convert cold, unaware audiences. And so it's like very, very important. Think through every single problem that people solve or that new problems that are being created when you solve the first and bundle that all together, sell it for a high price. That's how you create perceived value. Okay, there you go. And then obviously a cool takeaway from this video, which a very actionable step, is start bundling up and start building collection pages, right? If you just send your stuff to a collection page, it's very likely going to have a better ROAS than just product page without even thinking about crazy advertorial funnels or whatever. Now, when we have these two things sorted, then we're focusing on OTOs, which is one-time offers. We could also call them post-purchase offers, whatever. Now, I'm going to give you a couple best practices that I've just been ripping for us. And so the first thing is VSLs, actually having video sales letters, actually people sitting there in front of a camera, you as the founder actually saying, hey, thank you for purchase, blah, blah, check this out, you hold the product into the camera, whatever. Those things have significantly higher trust and take rates compared to the thing that you just bought before, okay? Use it, super powerful, okay? Everyone else is just, showcasing the same product. Again, half of the time it doesn't even make sense, right? Obviously, the immediate first OTO should be a new problem that you solve, because if you solve them the same thing again, or something that solves the same problem, they just bought something solving that problem. So they just bought something thinking, hey, I thought I just solved this problem. Why do I need this as well? And so they're not going to take it. In fact, they're more likely to churn out of your business just because you offered them something terrible. And to think about it, it can all go massively wrong too. So do this properly and think this through, right? Now, the optimal revenue per visitor, and this is something which probably is going to surprise you a lot, but optimal RPV starts at like $20 to $100. So if you make less than $20 of revenue per visitor with your OTO, it's not doing what it's supposed to. Okay, if you're actually attracting good traffic quality and you're doing your thing right, then you're going to make, and every single OTO is going to have, or not every single one, but the first OTO is going to have an AOV contribution like this. And so how you can achieve the 100 or even higher than that is info offers, right? So info offers, a lot of people like to actually sell like some coaching programs or whatever about the problem that you just solved on the back end. Super powerful thing. Again, no one really talks about it. And then obviously we have, like the overall OTOs, if done correctly, they reduce refunds because they add more trust, especially when you have VSLs in there and they start seeing your face after they just bought from you, and they increase LTV. So people stay more, people trust you more, you start building a culture. So this was pretty much it for this video. Again, I don't want to waste your time. I rushed over it a little bit too quickly, but obviously if you have any questions, just go ahead and write it into the comments. Thank you for giving me your most important asset, which is your attention. See you next time. I wish you a beautiful day.